Let's read a book. Engineer, Engineer, What Do You See? By Mrs. Nicolosi. Engineer, Engineer, what do you see? I see an indoor in front of me. It's only used by the employees that work on the train or if there's an emergency. We don't go in and out. When we go in and out, we're going to go on the side. Let's see what else an engineer will see. Engineer, Engineer, what do you see? I see grab rails in front of me. So when you're on the train, if you have to stand up, you can hold on to them. Engineer, Engineer, what do you see? I see a door in front of me. Here's the door to get on the train. Engineer, Engineer, what do you see? I see a train headlight in front of me. Engineer, Engineer, what do you see? I see a streetcar in front of me. And so this one is in town, and so it's called a streetcar. This one actually is powered by the lines up here. Engineer, Engineer, what do you see? I see a subway in front of me. A subway is underground. So this, on top of this, if we went up above, we would see the street. So this is under the ground, called a subway. Oops. Engineer, Engineer, what do you see? I see gangway bellows in front of me. Do you see this part right here? The passengers can walk through it and be safe, but it's between the train cars, and it's covering that space that goes between. So here's a car and here's a car. It covers the space between them. Gangway bellows. Engineer, Engineer, what do you see? I see a trolley in front of me. So a trolley is in town, but this time it's only going to have one car. Engineer, Engineer, what do you see? I see a boxcar in front of me. So this kind of train car is called a boxcar. Engineer, Engineer, what do you see? I see a tender in front of me. So right here, this is a tender, and it's going to hold coal and water for the steam train. Engineer, Engineer, what do you see? I see a high-speed train in front of me. And look at this. Look at how it has a curve. It goes at a diagonal right here. And it's going to help it go fast. Engineer, Engineer, what do you see? I see a cattle car in front of me. So a cattle car, it could hold other animals. It doesn't have to hold, but it holds live animals inside the train. Engineer, Engineer, what do you see? I see a hopper car in front of me. So this is open on the top, and then they fill it up, and they're going to transport loose items such as grain and ore and coal so that they can put them inside, and then they'll cover it up if they need to so it doesn't come out when the train is moving. Engineer, Engineer, what do you see? I see a whistle in front of me. And sometimes I know when friends are playing train, they might make the whistle sound. Engineer, engineer, what do you see? I see a dining car in front of me. So this is a car. If you're going on a long train ride, there will be a car where you can go and eat. Engineer, engineer, what do you see? I see a sleeping car in front of me. Do you notice there's some beds? Right, so on a train, if you're going on a long train ride, there would be a sleeping car where you could go to sleep. Engineer, engineer, what do you see? I see a stack car in front of me. So the part that is the train is down here. And these are the very large storage containers. And we're going to find these on ships, or maybe one of them will be on a truck. And the train can stack them too high. Engineer, engineer, what do you see? I see a passenger train in front of me. So this kind of train, it has, you could see by the windows, because here's the windows, and so the passengers would sit inside, and we could see that this is it's a passenger train. Engineer, engineer, what do you see? I see train tracks in front of me. Look at these train tracks, and they crisscross, and so there's special maneuvers that the engineers do, and they get to move them so they can tell the train which way they want to move the whole train. Engineer, engineer, what do you see? I see a train tunnel in front of me. Well, sometimes trains have to go through a tunnel. This one's specially designed. It has the railroad tracks that go all the way through to the other side. Engineer, engineer, what do you see? I see a train bridge in front of me. Look right there. Because we go on a bridge in our cars, but this one has train tracks that go all the way across. So this is for a train bridge. Engineer, engineer, what do you see? I see a train station in front of me. Train station is where people go to get on the train. Engineer, engineer, what do you see? I see a train platform in front of me. The platform is at the train station. It's a place where people wait for the train. Engineer, engineer, what do you see? I see a train ticket in front of me. So if you're going to go on a train, you need to buy a ticket to go from here to there. Engineer, engineer, what do you see? I see freight and cranes in front of me. So if you look carefully, these yellow structures right here, those are actually cranes. And they're going to help take the freight and lift it up off the train and move it onto a truck or maybe onto a different train. But it's to get the freight off the train. And if we look over here, we can see there's stacks of freight. And here are trains that have freight on them. Engineer, engineer, what do you see? I see a freight train in front of me. Boys and girls, if you want to listen to this one again a different day, you can, and you can keep the sound on, or you could turn the sound off. And if you turn the sound off, then you get to tell the story. Or you can keep it on and chant along with me. Have a great day.